I'm about to share a video with you that was on TikTok here a few days ago about the state of Israel and Jerusalem. And after the video, pay attention because I'm going to read some verses to you so all could connect and show you what's really going on right now and show you how close we are to the very end. So pay attention.
This is a watershed moment for Palestine, for justice and for international law. Israel's occupation has been declared unlawful by the World Court, which has stipulated that it must be terminated completely and as rapidly as possible. The court also found that illegal Israeli occupation violates the UN Charter, human rights and international humanitarian law. The court further unequivocally declared that all Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory are illegal and must be dismantled, and that all Israeli settlers must be evacuated. The court declared that Israeli illegal occupation not only violates but eviscerates the Palestinian people's right to self-determination in their own land, including the right to their own state. This ruling couldn't be more timely or sorely needed. The Palestinian people have endured unbearable suffering and injustice for decades. This ruling is a vindication of their steadfastness and perseverance. This right must no longer be denied or deferred. The court made clear that the Palestinian people are the only sovereign in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and that the international community is under an obligation not just to reaffirm the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, but to see to it that this right is implemented immediately. All states and the UN are now under obligation not to recognize the legality of Israel's presence in the occupied Palestinian territory.
For you that actually watched the whole video, do you hear what they just said? Israel now is an illegal state that it needs to evacuate. And where do you think they're going to go? Who's their buddy ally? America. So now prophecy will come fulfilled, and they're going to bring a lot of them over here that's probably going to go into captivity, and the rest of you that want to stay behind, you're going to be made an example of. Jeremiah 4-9 and Zechariah 14. I'm going to get to some of those verses, but I'm going to start with what the Messiah said in Matthew 24. I'm going to start in verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Messiah, and it shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, that see that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes, in divers places. All these things are the beginnings of sorrows, what's been going on. Then shall they deliver you up to the afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Yeah, not just his message, his name's sake. His name is Yeshua. English translation is Joshua. Yeshua means Jehovah's salvation. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall arise, and deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. When ye therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Why would he tell you that? Let him which is on the housetop not come down and take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall the great tribulation, such as it was not seen since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Except in those days shall be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake. Those days shall be shortened. And if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Messiah, or there, believe it not. For there shall rise many false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. I mean, like, why do you think there's 40-some thousand different denominations right now, having their own personal Messiah, their own personal Cheez-Its? But that's not what we're going to sit here and talk about, because we're talking about what's going on right now with the Israel state and what's about to happen to them, which means prophecy is about to be fulfilled and the tribulation is about to kick off. It's a springtime event. Where are we at? We're near the spring, aren't we? Aren't we starting the beginning of spring? My goodness. I'm going back here to Jeremiah 4. Because everything's going on right now in Jerusalem is Jeremiah 4 through 9. And this is starting to make more sense to me now. The last couple of verses. Because look, this is what's going to happen. This is what it seems like it's going to happen. Don't be presumptuous. But it seems like they're going to evacuate a lot of Israel, including Jerusalem, and they're going to send them over here to America because that's where all the Jews are. You know, Israel runs America, if you didn't know. All right. Verse 29. The whole city shall flee for the noise of the horsemen and the bowmen. They shall go into the thickets and climb upon the rocks. Every city shall be forsaken, and not a man dwell therein. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, thou deckest thyself with thee with ornaments of gold, thou rendest thy face with painting, in vain shalt they make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, and they will seek thy life. So you IDF women that refuse to evacuate and you want to stay behind and fight, you're going to be running into these freaking cliffs and mountains. And their lovers are going to despise you. They're going to seek your life. They're going to come and rape and kill you. For I have heard as a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child. The voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, Woe is me now, for my soul is wearied. Sit there and told you he's going to send a watchman from afar off to warn you. Hello? How else was we going to do it? We're spread to the four corners of the earth. How else are we going to come together unless it wouldn't be for here online to sit here and rebuke you people and warn you people and try to get you to flee and to listen to your Messiah and to listen to what the prophet said. But you won't listen. Zechariah 14. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoils shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the cities shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. The women are going to be ravished. You hear that? It's the second time he's brought that up. Isaiah 3 as well. Go read that. And half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. So his father's going to do the same thing he's done throughout time since the beginning of this book. He'll bring your freaking nations up against thee to just sit there and punish you, and then he'll turn around and destroy them. I mean, like after that, this goes into prophecy about Yeshua coming back with the 144,000 coming down to split the Mount of Olives. Now, I just read to you in Matthew 24 about the last times. This is when he was sitting on the Mount of Olives. Ain't that convenient? Isn't that ironic? Then it comes full circle back to here. I mean, my goodness, like, why won't you listen? Like, you IDF women, you're in a lot of trouble. I mean, like, you have no idea. You're sitting there, have your tits hanging out, looking like whores, parading yourself around. The people, there's women here in America that's in the military don't even do that. So why are you parading yourself off like that? Because this stuff here in prophecy is about to happen to you. Only a few of you, if that's going to take heed and flee. And the rest of you got to learn the hard way. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let's see here. All right, Micah 4, the last 3 verses. Now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, Let her be defiled, and let her eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves in the floor unto the floor. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, For I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people. And I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. Now, if you really want more context, you go back and read from like Micah, 2 to 4? This will give you a whole outline here, what's going on. Like, here's your multiple witness. You got your multiple witnesses from Micah, Zechariah, from Yeshua. I mean, it's all over the place. When are you going to take heed and listen? Like, ask yourself this question. Is there anybody else on this platform preaching what we preach? Is there anybody else besides Straight as the Gate preaching on this stuff that's sitting there starting to sing the new song of Moses that talks about the day dawning, the white stone, the Beatitudes, the glad tidings? The key of David. Like, is anybody talking about this stuff? If not, then you're in bad company. And you need to start finding those people that's actually watching out for people's very soul, that's doing what they watch and are supposed to be doing, going and warning of the sword company. They're blowing the trumpet right now. You guys need to start listening, or you're going to die.